Hey traders, checking into the stock market today. We had a big bear reaction with Powell fueling things. We'll look at the charts in just a moment. Before we get to it, make sure you're following us on all the social media stuff. We put out a ton of content that is not on YouTube, and I'm putting out stuff on Twitter constantly throughout the day. We got the Instagram. I'm starting to do stories with some market prep and some midday stuff. We've got Reels on Instagram, TikTok, TheChartGuys TikTok. Jason's on there, posting a bunch of setups as well. So, feeding the content machines. We'll put the links in all of these, for all of these, in the comments of this video. So S&P 500, we got our bearish reversal candles yesterday on the daily time frame, and we followed through in a big way. We had this hourly uptrend. We were looking at the hourly head and shoulders. We traded sideways all night, so at that point, this morning, it was the 4-hour head and shoulders that we were watching for. And it confirmed. We had everything that the bears wanted to see played out today. And this is the list I made last night in the chat room. For the next couple of days, the bears want to see all major sectors at the lows together today, which we saw. Over 50% retracement from the daily bounce from the Thursday lows. SPY, wrong button. Nope, that's the right button. SPY has retraced 65%. The NASDAQ has not yet. That is one thing that is missing. Increasing bear volume, check. DXY holds 104.09. We held that support level by 3 pennies and shot up to higher highs, check. So everything that the bears wanted on this list, they saw today. The one thing that is missing, which is only a minor thing at this point, but it is the NASDAQ retracing only 50%. There aren't any red flags on the NASDAQ retracement for me at this point. So if we're green tomorrow, then again, it's on the table that we can potentially see a daily trend change confirmed to the bulls. If we're red tomorrow, then the NASDAQ will be seeing that 60% retracement. And we are not in hourly oversold conditions yet. SPY hit hourly oversold conditions today and got a little bit of a bounce going at the end of the day. Again, if we're green tomorrow, I'm open to daily higher lows shaping up. So we'll be watching closely. Our hourly downtrends will be our guide. Powell is speaking again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. So we have to be watching that as well. Watch him come out and say the exact opposite of everything he said today. I don't think it's going to be as big an impact because, again, the big reaction today was the transcript being released before Powell even spoke. But a big move down, solid bounce, but bears took over from there. SPY was weaker than the NASDAQ because XLF and XLV were leading the way to the downside. So again, we're going to be watching. Do QQQ bears follow through tomorrow or not? Hourly downtrend is our guide. If we get a big enough bounce, if bulls can shape up an hourly trend change and set a daily higher low, it is possible that we confirm a daily uptrend. But I'm bearish as long as the hourly downtrend is bearish, headed into today with a bear lean. If you go on Instagram and look at the story from this morning, I talked about it. I also talked about the name that I was watching this morning for a short, and that was Coin. And I entered Coin short on the morning live stream when this 5-minute inside bar broke bear. And that was my short signal. Scaled out. Was all out the position under 61. Played there was bounces. I was just playing Coin like a madman in both directions today. And definitely liking the crypto-related stocks. GBTC had a short squeeze today. Got a little bit of that action. So nice volatility in crypto stocks. But Coin, as I talked about in that Instagram story, we were looking for the hourly lower high. We were looking for a break of the low of yesterday. And great volatility in both directions. And still in a tight daily range. So the dollar held daily uptrend support and is now seeing a higher high. We still have a bunch of resistance to be watching. Remember the big picture? If you've been watching for a couple months, been talking about the dollar, looking for the monthly high or low. And now we have it. Now the question is, how much bounce retracement do we see? Do we see 50% plus and shape up an equilibrium on the monthly for the dollar? Do we top out soon and shape up a bear flag? And as I mentioned, I'm scouting a monthly lower high in the dollar to add to my long swing positions. But I'm going to be very patient watching for it because again, it might take a couple of months. And what that would align with is potentially SPY's monthly inverse head and shoulders. So again, we're going big picture for a moment. I'll do a big picture video sometime, maybe this weekend, maybe next weekend. But it would be this monthly inverse head and shoulders. If the dollar keeps bouncing and we keep seeing market weakness, if the dollar sets a monthly low or high and the market sets a monthly high or low, there is a possible monthly inverse head and shoulders on the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. A lot of information is going to be given to us based on how significant this dollar bounce is on the monthly. But this monthly bounce in the dollar is not surprising us at all. We knew it was the most likely scenario. It was just a question of when. Natural gas daily consolidation continued a bit today, but we did finally get some bounce follow through. 4-hour bounce is pretty sizable. So once we lose the stair step pattern, bulls must confirm the 4-hour uptrend for the daily higher low to be set. And then from there, we must break 303 to confirm the first daily uptrend in a long time. Gotta close this door real quick. So an aggressive bull looking for a daily high or low is going to try and make an entry on 4-hour consolidation, perhaps 15-minute oversold conditions. Stop under 250 because if that level breaks, that tells us our daily high or low is not set. But watching for a daily high or low in natural gas. Semiconductors. Another red day. We're opening the door for the possibility of confirming a weekly downtrend into monthly consolidation. Should say into further monthly, nope, we haven't started yet, into monthly consolidation if that bear break happens. It's all about 233.09 support. If we're going to break that support, NVDA has to be a rising wedge. Talked about it yesterday. There's our 4-hour uptrend support line right now. Bulls had a great bounce here. Again, look at this volatility. Big drop, big bounce, little rising wedge up at the high of the day. There were a good number of rising wedges indicating some temporary tops. Coin had one. I was too busy posting about this coin rising wedge in the chat room and I missed the trade, which was frustrating. It was still a good day, but this would have been a real good one. Look at the follow through on that bear break. Very quick 5% on that rising wedge. Bull breaks over the high of the day, lacking follow through. So, what were we talking about? Tesla. No. NVDA. Potential rising wedge. And it has to confirm if SMH is going to lose that weekly support. Anything above 233? Nope. Anything above 224 is a daily high or low here. But again, we're just getting bull breaks that lack follow through. We're really struggling in the upper 230s. Unable to close above it here. And potentially starting to weaken. Tesla, daily lower high set yesterday, following through today. We had a great bounce off 186 support. Look at that bounce. 4% off of that key level, but we faded into the end of the day. So it's back in play, double bottom at 186 tomorrow. If 186 breaks, the next level I'm looking at is really just each level on the way down here, every low of the day. 183.69, 182.61, 169.93. We did not establish a lot of support on the way up. We've seen it plenty of times. If you don't establish support on the way up, you can fall back down quickly and vice versa. The NASDAQ today did not establish resistance on the way down. Big bounce, did not establish support on the way up. That's when we get those equilibriums. When the moves are volatile enough and the ranges are big enough that you're just going back and forth in large movements. And so we're watching for Tesla to potentially roll over. We know Tesla divided by QQQ already gave us a bear break. First daily downtrend confirming on this entire multiple month bounce. So we are weakening in Tesla. It's just this 186 short-term level to see if we're going to continue dropping. XLF, big drop. Double bottom at 35, but we are close to this rising wedge on the weekly that we've been watching, confirming for the bears. Had it like that after last week. If we break 35, we're looking down at 34.56 as the next level. Easily our lead bear sector today. And you can see it's the most bearish day that we've seen in a couple of months. Most bearish day of the year. A lot of space for an hourly lower high. That's how we headed into today. Again, look at this. No support established on the way up. No stair steps, no higher lows. Give it all back very quickly. So we're going to look for an hourly lower high on XLF. Just like today, we were looking for an hourly lower high in all of our weak names from yesterday. Healthcare, daily EMA 12 resistance rejection, back down towards the lows, and just sticking with the daily downtrend. Nothing changing here. IWM, weekly consolidation was healthy, just like SMH. IWM and SMH were our healthiest weekly charts heading into this week. And they are both showing relative weakness the first 2 trading days this week. And IWM is on the verge of confirming this lower high and lower low. If we break 185.78, then we zoom out for monthly consolidation and a more convincing rejection from the 200 double top. Biotech sector, daily inside bar, held on well, relatively speaking today, but still weak overall. Daily EMA 12 is resistance. Talked about coin, still sideways, but nice volatility in both directions. CCJ, talked about the head and shoulders yesterday. It has confirmed. Monthly lower high is set. There's a number of nice monthly charts to be watching. I'll put those in my long-term video. There are monthly setups. Cost, BABA, CCJ, NEE. Going to be watching all of those. CCJ is now going to be looking for a monthly higher low compared to 21.22. And we're going to be looking for a break of this monthly equilibrium sometime towards the middle of the year, maybe Q3. But when it breaks, there's not many equilibriums and tightening ranges that have been forming this prolonged a period of time. The miners led the way again. They started daily consolidation yesterday, and gold followed today. It's such a nice clue. The miners led the bounce by a day. They led the pullback by a day. Here's gold testing the low. Here's silver dropping to lower lows. Silver daily EMA 12 is resistance. Bears have complete control as long as that is the case. So metal bears still in control. The minor bears back down testing daily support. 26.64, just the stair step. Bear signal at 28.20. Big time follow through. Obviously Powell helping that. MSOS. Keeping an eye on it. Again, the weakest of the weak. The weakest sector in the market over the last couple of months. But it is such a clear resistance level. And those of you who've been watching this name know, and again, this is US cannabis, on days like today when the market is this red, anytime in the last year, year and a half, MSOS would be down 5% plus. It was green today. And not only was it green, we closed above $7 for the first time in a couple of weeks. I'm watching just because it's very clear that there's a ton of bears in the sector. And if we pop over this 736 level, it won't be that hard to go another 10% because, again, there's a lack of resistance. After 736, I'm looking up at 916. So look at the EMAs. We're close to a bull cross of the 12 and 26 EMAs for the first time since this all-out dump. So we're at a point where, why I'm interested in this is, number one, it's just such a clear level. Number two, who's left to short, who's left to sell longs. This sideways accumulation kind of range is showing me that nobody's left to short and nobody's left to sell longs. So if we break resistance, all we will have is bulls buying and shorts covering. And it's very thinly traded. So if we get some volume coming in, again, just watching for it to be, this is the kind of chart that I keep an eye on because I don't want to fall asleep on it. Because it's the kind of chart that lulls you into boredom, and then next thing you know, it goes 20% in a week and a half. So daily bull flag attempt, we've got to break 709, 725, and 736. And it is more thinly traded than most stocks. These days, it's trading about $7 million a day. Certainly not much. And oil. Technically broke resistance by a few pennies, but that's a double top for me. The 2-day equilibrium continues to tighten. So rejection from resistance, and now we're watching 73.80 support. Energy sector, weak as well, but oil just continues tightening up. Not ready for a break just yet. A lot of space for a 4-hour lower high to be the result of the next bounce. So congrats to the Bears, nice win. Bears got everything they wanted today, except for the NASDAQ leading the way down and pulling back over 50%. Not essential for the Bears, but that's the next thing that they want to see with more red tomorrow. If it's a green day tomorrow, I'm open to daily higher lows potentially shaping up. So have to keep an eye out for that as well. Bear lean as long as the hourly downtrends continue to dictate the price action. NVDA and Tesla, bears are trying to roll over from relative strength to relative weakness. The Netflix swing, still looking good, lower lows. Got to be cautious of a bit of a falling wedge. But again, I'm thinking bigger picture here, so I'm not really worried about the short-term action. But again, it's just the prime example why I was interested in the Netflix short up here with this distribution kind of action is exactly what NVDA bears are hoping for and what Tesla bears are hoping for. And again, let's just compare Tesla daily to Netflix daily before we rolled over. Sure looks similar, doesn't it? Left shoulder, there's your head. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. I mean, it's very similar. I would say that we're right about there. Doesn't mean that's going to happen, but it's a very similar setup. We'll see. Hope you're well, do good things, follow the social medias, and thanks for the likes and the comments and stuff.
These tulip magnolias don't last very long, so we're going to keep filming them as long as they're here. Last year they were only around for a few days before a frost knocked them all off. Look at that! Helping the tadpoles get out of their eggs. Over the weekend, I will show you all some violet tea that I'm gonna make. Maybe tomorrow's video will go over all the edible weeds and things that are in the yard. Violets being one of them.